According to the New York Times, the employment situation is the best it's ever been. And I'm sorry, I guess you guys don't like that, but that's the way it works.
Things with regard to
that's the way it is.
Things with regard to employment are pretty good. But
thank you. Because we have to be honest with each other. Now, as far as illegal immigration, I think it's a disaster for this country. And I don't know how an American citizen like yourself, Dee Dee, can advocate this.
Advocate for undocumented immigrant reform?
Well, if the reform involves keeping them out, I'm very happy to hear that reform.
Well, of course not. I mean, we need... Okay, who's going to take care of you two? Both of you are the baby boomers. Who's going to wipe your ass? It ain't going to be your children. It's more than likely going to be the Mexican American or the future Mexican American.
There will be butt wiping America.
I don't know if baby boomers can afford it. They can barely afford their medication right now.
I'd rather have a robot.
Seriously.
You know what? That's a terrible argument, Dee Dee. Because
it is not.
you know what? I'll take care of my own butt.
I
do not need an illegal alien to come over the border and take care of my butt.
When you're 80 years old,
argument,
I will visit you and see where you're at and see who's taking care of your butt. But
and if necessary, if I need anybody to take care of my butt, I will hire an American citizen. Thank you very much.
Well, I've got direct experience.
They're going to charge you an arm and a leg.
My dad...
It'll be worth it.
Actually, my mother-in-law and my dad are both in joints. They're both capable at this point of wiping their own butts, but they're in places where if they needed it, their butts would be wiped for them. And one of the places is California, where it costs twice as much to be in this joint as where my dad is in New Mexico, which I would assume it's one of these right-to-work states, and I assume they have a larger immigrant percentage of immigrants, and I'm sure that one of the things that makes my dad's place cost $4,000 a month compared to my mother-in-law's place, which costs $8,000 a month, one of those factors probably has to do with immigration. Well, part of it is that California is still an attractive place to live, and there are 40 million people.
Apparently, it's a lot more attractive than Mexico.
Well, with regard to the way that the U.S. is populating itself, the white demographic are only populating themselves at two people.
Okay.
So 2 per
Replacement level for every couple.
Right, and right now we don't have the population to take care of the Anglos. So
it's so ridiculous.
Again, I'm sorry.
As an Anglo, we'll take care of ourselves.
You don't have the population to do that.
No, thank you very much, Dee Dee. I would just like to announce that I and all my Anglo buddies, if that's what I am I an Anglo?
Can you look to the camera?
I used to think I was an American citizen, but since I'm not a Hispanic, we'll take care of ourselves. I do not need Hispanics to pour over the border by the million to come and take care of it. I'm not worried about it. I'll settle the problem when the time comes. I do not want to give the entire southwest of the United States to the people of Mexico because I'm worried that I won't be able to take care of myself.
Your mom needed care for quite a while.
Yeah, by an American citizen.
Was Whitey everybody who took care of your mom?
She was a Mexican-American citizen.
Really? So a Mexican-American took care of your mom?
Yeah.
Why not Whitey?
As a matter of fact, I've dated Mexican-Americans. It gets worse.
Yay! I mean, I could do cartwheels on
and
that,
not only
but...
I let Mexican-Americans into my studio.
Wow!
In fact, half the people I deal with are Mexican-American.
You guys don't have the population to take care of yourselves.
No. I will be the judge of that. If that's your argument...
The statistics are there.
If that's your argument... I'm sorry, it's ridiculous.
The demographic statistics are there.
Okay, I don't need Mexicans to come from Mexico.
No, they're not. It's not Mexican statistics. This comes from Cato.
I'm not worried about it. Somehow.
Well, because you're selfish.
No.
I care about the old white people.
Okay, somehow, old white people have survived up till now. So your concern about me and white people is charming. I'm touched.
You should
But
be.
somehow, up till now, white people managed just fine, and somehow we will again.
You're not populating yourselves enough to take care of yourselves.
That's kind of true, because
we
there's
went
never
over.
been as big a wave of old white people as there will be. The oldest baby boomers are now 72. I think that's 1 year older than Trump. The youngest ones are 54.
I would rather have old white people work out more and try and control their diet and stay in shape.
Have you seen old
Have you
white
seen
people?
the
bring
old-
over millions of Mexicans
They're all
to take
fat.
care of the Southwest. No, in fact, it is my patriotic duty to make sure that old white people stay in shape, eat right, low salt diets, so that we don't have to import millions and millions of Mexicans into my country to take care of them and wipe their asses.
If you get them healthy, they just live longer, requiring more care.
No, you know what?
Exactly.
I have
Good
faith.
point.
Think of the founding fathers: red hair, white skin, blazing trails throughout our woods,
There
fighting
used to-
the Indians, fighting the British. No, I believe that the white Americans will somehow survive without the help of Mexicans
There used to be
to wipe their
There
asses.
used to-
Somehow those asses will be, those pink, hairless, white, pimpled asses will be wiped.
droopy in the middle, elephant ass.
They will be wiped
Yeah.
without the Mexican.
Okay, there
Americans.
used to be,
Without Mexicans.
if
Sorry.
you wanted the cheapest boob job on the market, if you were a stripper and you wanted to get a pair of fake boobs for $3,000, there was one place to go. It was this.
Brazil.
Well, I think they were still, because they do good quality work in Brazil, but there's a surgeon in Vegas, this lunatic surgeon who was the cheapest on the market. And one reason was that he'd have his day's worth of boob jobs. Like everybody would be recuperating together. And there was no aftercare. All the boob job people were staggering around with their sore boobs and their drains and their IVs, taking care of each other in this recovery room. That's why the boobs were so cheap, because there was no aftercare. That's what it's going to be like with old white people. The old white people are going to be wiping each other's asses, with using walkers to get around, to get at each other's butts. Also, that guns are very efficient suicide machines. If you subtract the suicide by gun from the statistics, the rate, the increase in suicide goes way down too, which might relate to, the politics, the zero-sum politics, that there need to be winners and losers.
I wonder how many of those committing suicide. I'm curious as to the demographics, because again, we need enough of you white people to wipe each other your butts, according to Lance. So, do you know what the demographics are on the suicide rate?
No, I don't know by age or by race.
See, that would be really good to know.
Well, I happen to know the demographics.
It wasn't enforced under Obama. It's happened. I don't know how
Oh,
much.
so
it
he
happened.
made a law that he didn't want to enforce.
Obama did DACA and DAPA. DAPA was an attempt to keep the families together and to focus on the real criminal element of undocumented immigrants.
I think
Trump did away with DAPA.
All illegal aliens are criminals.
People showing up at the
That's
border
very Christian.
asking for asylum.
Very Christian.
Because they're
So
not.
compassionate.
That's not criminal.
No, I have compassion with American citizens.
I don't see the
Wait,
compassion.
No, I'll tell you something, Dee Dee. I have compassion for American citizens that can't get jobs, don't interrupt me, and keep getting raped and murdered by your buddies from over the border. You don't have compassion for United States citizens.
I
That's
don't
your
have
problem.
compassion for white pedophiles.
Whose alliance? Oh, and by the way,
You
know how
wanna
many?
talk about-
You know how many illegal aliens rape children?
You want to know how many whites rape their own children?
Dee Dee, that is irrelevant to
No,
the
it's
subject
not.
of illegal immigration.
We're talking numbers
Dee
here.
Dee, we don't need to have one single child don't interrupt me, in the United States raped by an illegal alien.
By anybody.
No, by an illegal alien.
By
we can't
any
get
human
rid.
being.
Dee, we cannot get rid of the entire American population, but we can get rid of the illegal aliens that enjoy raping our
You
children.
get rid of the real criminal element of the undocumented. You don't throw the baby out with the bathwater because we need those people.
We don't need them.
Countries are going to be competing for population.
I'm fine without them. I don't need
Yes,
them.
you don't need your butt wiped.
My butt
by
is fine.
Mexicans.
Don't worry about my butt.
Show up asking for asylum aren't even from Central or South America or Mexico. They're from Asia. They're
Okay,
from the rest of the world.
I am against.
You're right. There are more Asian.
Okay, you
There's
know what?
an increase in
I have never singled out people from south of the border. I think we should limit immigration of all kinds from all countries.
Especially the Russians.
Russia, Norway, Denmark, the Philippines, any country you want, we should limit immigration to a trickle in the United States in 2018. I don't care where it's from.
So it's a zero-sum thing. By the way, there are about 10,000 MS-13 people in America, and there are about...
Oh, wait a minute. Thank you, Dee Dee.
Who? Me?
Yeah, you got us some you got us 10,000 MS-13. Happy?
out of
Oh, I didn't get them in here. I'm on the
11.3 million
record.
undocumented
Oh.
immigrants, which is less than 1 in 1,000.
For the record, I've stated I'm not for the real criminal
Right.
element. I'm not here to punish civil offenders, people who commit a civil offense. I'm more for advocating the real criminal element because I know that we need the Mexicans and immigrants to take care of our future growth because we are not
There's no
populating
proof- there's
ourselves
no,
enough.
There's no proof of that, Dee Dee.
Of course there. Oh,
And,
fine.
and,
I'll find it. I'll find it.
and by the
Find
way,
it.
I would be happy to just have our population go down like Japan is.
Oh, that's very Christian of you.
That's fine. Doesn't bother me.
Wow.
Yeah, because you just don't give a damn what happens to all those American citizens that are getting raped, thrown out of work, and murdered by your buddies.
And who don't get their
Don't
asses
forget
wiped
your
when they're
buddies.
75.
He's forgetting that
That's very Christian of you.
people are human beings, okay? And he's forgetting how many pedophiles are in your white demographic group.
I am against pedophilia.
So am I.
Okay.
One thing we agree
Why don't we
on.
just kick out the states that have a lot of pedophiles?
I
Like
think-
Alabama.
What we can do is stop importing pedophiles from other countries.
Yeah, but the rate
Every single child that gets raped by one of your buddies is your fault, Dee Dee.
No, it isn't, because I'm
They did
against
not have
the
to get
real
raped.
criminal element. You keep trying to twist and change things. I'm against the real criminal element being here in the United
Well,
States.
how do you know which ones are going to be the criminal
For one
element?
thing, it
Background
takes 2
checks,
years. It takes
right?
2 years.
No, I tell you what, I got a better idea. Let's just not let people in from other countries that shouldn't be here at all,
You
period.
just asked, how are you going to tell? You do background
No,
checks.
we
Right
don't-
now, they're
no,
living
no,
in the
no,
shadows
no,
of
no, no.
society.
They're not
Bring them
living in the
out.
shadows.
Yes,
They're living
they are.
right in this
No,
neighborhood,
they
I
are living
assure
in the
you.
shadows of society, using somebody's social security or an EIN, contributing millions and millions and millions of dollars that are really funding
The United-
baby boomer Medicare, all of this,
great.
all of the social.
Do you know how much California spends on medical just for illegal aliens?
I
Do you know?
don't.
$15 billion a year.
And how many billions do those California undocumented immigrants contribute to state and federal?
It turns out that it's not, they don't pay for themselves. 30% of the people in our prisons are illegal aliens.
They do pay for themselves.
They don't pay for
Yeah,
themselves.
most of the-
What do you think it costs to have 30% of the people in our jails illegal aliens?
They do
What you
pay
think?
for
No, I
themselves.
want to know. It's billions and billions
Because
of
your
dollars.
buddy, the lobbyists of CCA, are making billions to house brown and black people and minorities. They
Oh, I
get
see.
paid
We're putting
billions.
them in jail too much. We need to
Absolutely.
stop that. We need to release them onto the citizens.
No, we need to
Thank
charge.
You, Dee Dee.
We need to charge reasonable prices to house a prisoner. I mean, it's cheaper to go to Yale than it is to house a prisoner.
And by
Here.
the way, 15
Dee Dee,
billion,
Dee Dee, wait.
$15 billion sounds like a huge number.
It's enough to build a wall.
Maybe, but it works out to $1 per Californian
The
per
wall
day.
is so
I don't want to spend
stupid.
$1 a day so you can have illegal aliens.
That's
no,
worth
thank
spending.
you. Bad
Worth
deal.
spending on
Also,
the
most
wall.
of the illegal aliens or undocumented people who are in prison their offense was trying to get into the U.S. illegally.
Or the
It's not-
pizza delivery guy.
Do you know how expensive it is to have 30% of the people in our prisons housed? That's
Yeah,
insane.
it
The
is.
cost
We
on
agree
the
it's
cost
expensive.
on the
It's
United States
expensive.
is
and they're in jail for working at Pizza Hut.
No, they're in jail for committing crimes.
Negative.
No, most of them are in
Negative.
jail.
Wait. 30% of the people in our jails are illegal aliens that did not commit crimes. Is that what you're telling me, Dee?
They are doing raids at cattle shops, at Pizza Huts, at restaurants. These are people who are hardworking people. They didn't rape somebody. They didn't murder
most
people.
of those
They are
selling drugs.
housing those prison beds to help the lobbyists who are making money.
I want to take
And working for CCA.
I want to reduce the population of our prisons by 30% and send those people back to the countries they belong. Because they're criminals, they don't deserve to be here, they're a massive burden on our state.
You're up against your own party.
And wait a minute, and you don't care. You don't give one goddamn about the crimes that those 30% of people committed on Americans.
Oh, I
Most of their
do.
crimes
Whose
were
side are
just
you
trying
on?
to get
I
into
do.
the US.
Are you talking about the restaurant workers?
Are you talking about the rapists and the child
no, I'm
molesters?
talking about the restaurant
Okay,
workers, the
so
moms
you're-
and dads working at restaurants,
I see.
forced apart from their children.
30% of the people in California jails are restaurant workers.
No, but there are
great
people
number.
whose crime was trying to get into or stay in the
Working
U.S.
in the
Oh, yeah,
agricultural
Work-
industry,
and raping,
restaurants,
and raping,
hotels.
murdering,
what
selling
percent of
drugs.
rape? What percent? I know
Yeah,
you're
I
talking
know.
about the
I'll find it.
doesn't
I'll find it
matter.
for
As
you.
long as
No,
it's-
it
What if
does
it's-
matter.
What if it's
It
100?
does matter.
Think
No,
about.
but he says it
wait,
doesn't
wait,
matter. If
wait.
there's
It
one
does.
rapist, they all have to go.
Dee Dee,
No, it
you've got
matters.
so much compassion. You've got so much Christian compassion. What about those poor women that got raped because you let illegals into my state?
Again, let me underscore, I am for kicking out the real criminal element
No,
of
you're
the
not.
undocumented.
No, you're not.
Oh,
No, you're
yes,
not.
I am.
No,
yes,
you're not.
I am.
Because
yes,
you
I am.
support AB 2954.
I support kicking out the real criminal
No,
element
but that's
of
not.
the
But
undocumented immigrants.
that's not the policy.
She's from Arizona.
The,
It's not
the
necessarily-
policy in California is after somebody has committed a crime and is released from prison, the Democrats won't let that person be turned over to ICE.
The way you fix this is at a federal level.
No,
John McCain
you
has
just
been
set it
doing
up.
this,
No, you
trying to
you
do
just
this
get
for
rid of
20
them.
years now.
You turn them over to ICE
Negative.
and they get rid of them.
No. And as a Republican,
Anything to
Since when
protect
do
them.
Republicans become large government bureaucrats?
Since when do women like it when women get
Either you're
raped by
free
illegal
enterprise
aliens?
or you're not. Are you for less government
What about
or
all
more
those,
government?
What about
Make
all
up
those
your mind
women
because I'm
being
confused
raped?
here.
What about the children being raped?
By Border Patrol?
How many?
By the Border
oh,
Patrol?
It's the Border Patrol.
Oh,
you gotta worry
absolutely,
about.
Border Patrol.
It's the Border Patrol.
Absolutely, Border Patrol agents
That's the
have raped
problem.
women and
That's the
children.
problem. It's the
oh,
Border
oh
Patrol.
yeah, let's talk about that. If you're going to talk about one part, let's talk about everything.
Okay, Dee Dee, I'll tell you what I'll do, because I'm a fair man. I'll match the number of people being raped by Border Patrol, United States Border Patrol. I'll match that number against the people being raped by your buddies, the illegal aliens. Let's see how the numbers work out. You want to look that up for us? You got your cell phone right
I'm
there.
going to look up what I meant to look up with regard to the other topic.
We've been going for a long time. Let's take a break. You look up what you need to look up, and we'll come back.
No, let's not talk about this subject anymore. Let's just move on.
Well, anyway, we're breaking. We'll come back.